I start with a gradient for the background. It's a lot easier to do this on Clip Studio Paint or another program with automatic gradient tools, but it's possible on Procreate. Afterwards, I add the flat colors for my character. Then I duplicate the background gradient and put it over my character. Adjust blending modes until the character's colors look like they belong in the environment. Personally, I like having gradients built into the character's colors. It creates ambient lighting, I guess, and it looks cool. Just make the color lighter saturated the closer you get to the light. After I add my background and whatever other details in, I duplicate the layer and open tone curves. On Procreate, it's Adjustments, Curves. On Clip Studio, it's Edit, Tonal Correction, Tone Curves. The tool basically just edits hue, saturation, and brightness all at once. There's no right way to use it. Just mess around until you like the result. I go through tons of different versions. And I mean tons. Once something finally sticks, I start adjusting the values. I create a new layer and fill it entirely with black. Then I set the layer to color mode. This way, I can toggle it on and off to see if there's any issues. Immediately, I notice that a lot of my values are very similar. Good value control is something I personally struggle a lot with. So I don't want to say, this is how to have good values, because I don't know how to have good values. But I guess ideally you want to have readable shapes in grayscale, even when you zoom out or blur the drawing. This was my first attempt at improving the values. I hope this kind of explains what I mean, making the subject stand out by darkening the background and giving her harsher and brighter lighting. After that, I just render and repeat the steps. I make sure to consistently check my values, and if the colors aren't right, I will go back to tone curves. If tone curves still aren't helping, I like messing around with blending modes. This is also super intuitive. I just fill an entire layer with any color and try every blending mode. Personal favorites are multiply, overlay, luminosity, and divide. Another rendering tip is outlining shadows and highlights with a saturated color. I do this all the time, it's so good. An easy way to create visual interest is to create a lot of subtle hue variations while keeping the values within the same range. Her hair is a good example for this. She's got pink, blue, orange, and purple in her hair, but because the values are similar, it doesn't read as busy or overwhelming. That's mostly everything I have to say for my coloring process. I have some more general tips I've learned, so I'll put those here while the speed paint ends. I want to add a disclaimer that this isn't a tutorial or anything, and I'm not a professional or even very experienced. I'm 17-18 in a couple weeks though. Happy early day to me. And I just draw D&D fun art for fun. Please take everything I say with a grain of salt. Anyway, expand your visual library. I heard this in a YouTube video when I was like 14 and it changed my life. Basically, just add everything you see into your visual library. The easiest way is by doing art studies, but you can kinda do this all the time wherever you go. Just add anything visually interesting into your brain folder so you can use it later. I also make folders on social media for this. If I know I'm going to be drawing specific characters or universe a lot, I'll start collecting any media that reminds me of it. For example, I have a few for UPP and other general ones too. The more you collect visual inspiration, the easier it'll be to pull on those inspirations when you want to draw something yourself. Also, never listen to people who say taking inspiration from other people's art is bad. That's the stupidest thing ever. Okay, that's everything I can think of. And also, I want to go get lunch now, so the video is over. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more peakness.